Hello everyone, in this tutorial we'll be taking a look at AutoGPT. So AutoGPT is an open source software that we can use in Python that allows us to use artificial intelligence to do whatever we want. So there are a few softwares that we need to install, one of them being Python. So let's head on over to Python. And we have to make sure that we have the latest version of Python. So this can be Python 3.8 or above. Here in the landing page, let's head on over into downloads and then click on all releases. So the latest version at the moment is Python 3.11.3. So let's go ahead and download that. So here in our installation, so we can either install it this way or we can install it through the customization, but I would recommend just going for the usual install now, making sure that you have the admin privilege. And also I would recommend putting the python.exe path as well, so that you can run Python in any of your command prompt. Let's go ahead and click install. Okay, so once that is done, we can go ahead and close this. We can also do a quick check that we have Python running. So all we have to do is press Windows and R and type in cmd. This would allow us to open up the command prompt, or we can press start and then type in command prompt and it should be there. So now in our root, let's go ahead and type in Python and press enter. We know that Python has been successfully installed if we can see the version that we downloaded and also this 3 forward slashes here. And let's go ahead and exit. And now we have Python off. The next step that we would need is we would need to install AutoGPT. We would need to install Git first before we are able to copy the repository. So if we head on over to the browser and then just type in something like git install and then your current system, and you should be able to get the first one, which is git scm. So this is a popular place to install Git. There is some tutorials as well in terms of how to download all of this, so you can take a look. Since I'm using a Windows operating system, I can click on this and then I will download the latest version of Git for Windows, which is here on the first link that we see. Once this is downloaded, let's go ahead and run the system. Let's keep everything to its default. And let's go ahead and install everything. Now, while this is being installed, we have to make sure that we do have a GitHub account. So let's head on over back to this and let us sign up. And once that we have signed up, we should be able to have our repository. Our Git should now have downloaded. And now let's go ahead and check if this is running or not. Let's go into our command prompt once again. So type in command prompt. And then let's type in git. If this is successful, then we should get this return. So now it shows that we have successfully installed Git in our system. So now what we can do is we can install AutoGPT into our system. So let's go ahead into here and let's click on code. And we should see the HTTPS, and we should be able to see the URL here. So let's go ahead and copy this. And now let's go back to our command prompt. We can choose a folder to save everything to do with our AutoGPT. Let's go to our file folder. And then let's choose our location. So I'll call this AutoGPT. Let's go through here. And then what we can do is we can click on this at the top and then type in CMD and then press enter. So now we can see that the place where we currently are is in this folder that we have chosen. So let's go ahead and clone our AutoGPT repository. So let's type in git clone and then Control V to paste the URL that we have. So that's git clone and then this, and then press enter. So now as you can see, everything is cloning, and just like that we have managed to clone our AutoGPT. So if we go to our folder right now and then open this up, you should see that everything should be in here. So once we have AutoGPT installed, we have to look for the .env.template folder, and then we have to rename this. So let's go ahead and right click, show more options, and then rename. And what we need to do is we need to remove this .template. So delete that and then press enter. Yes, go ahead. So now this is our .env. We also need to make a few changes here. So let's go ahead and open this up by right click and then open with. We can use Notepad or we can use another Notepad editor, but as long as you're able to open this in as a text file. So let's open this up just once. So now we have all of the settings here. So now there are a few things that we need to make changes to here. And these are API keys that is needed to get everything set up. So the first thing that we need to look for is OpenAI. So have a scroll around in this .env and we should be able to see this OpenAI underscore API underscore key, and then this is where we put in our API key. So let's head on over back to our browser and let's look for platform.openai. Once that we have searched that, we can actually click on overview or even open AI API key. And then here we would need to log in. So we can either log in or sign up here. If you don't have an account already, go ahead and sign up. I will log in. Once that I have logged in, here in either in the overview, we can go to our account and then go on view API keys. Now let's go ahead and create a new secret key, and then you can type it to whatever, and then let's create the key. Once that we have the key here, let's quickly go ahead and copy this and then head on back onto our env and then paste that to our API key right here. We will be doing the same. For the next API key, if we scroll down, and we should be able to see Pinecone API. So let's go ahead and go back to the browser and then just type in Pinecone API. And we should be able to get the correct output. So it would be this one. It says Pinecone. Let's click on Overview. And then we need to sign up once again. Once we have signed up, so we are put into our dashboard, we can actually see already here API keys. So let's go ahead and click that. And then let's copy the API key. And let's go back to our .env and paste that in. We also need to make sure that we have the environment correct. So let's copy this one as well. And then paste it here. And the last one that we would need is 11 labs. So let's go ahead and search for 11labs.io. And this should bring us to here. Now let's go ahead and sign up once again. So we will be using the free version, of course. Let's head on back to the main page by clicking on this. And then let's go and click onto our profile. And click profile, and we should have the API key right here. Let's go ahead and copy this. Now let's head back to this .env once again and paste our API key. Now let's go ahead and save this by pressing Ctrl S, and this should now be all fully set up. And now that we have everything all installed, let's head on over back to our command, and then let's type in ./run.bat and then press enter. So what this does is it will install any other additional Python libraries that may have not been installed yet. Now once this is done, so as you can see it's installed quite a lot, we are now running AutoGPT. So it says, welcome to AutoGPT. We can create an assistant. So asking user via keyboard, I want AutoGPT to. So let's think of something. I want AutoGPT to become my shopper bot. So now, as you can see, it is running everything. It is running everything. So I only give one input. So now it's figured out, okay, so I will create Shopper GPT. What that does is an AI-powered personal shopping assistant that helps you find the best deals, products, services online, saving you time and money. And then you have these goals. And then, so he would have started using all of this already. Understand your shopping preferences and needs. So what does he need to do? Well, first, using the browser Chrome, he says, I think the first step should be to understand that the user's shopping preferences and needs. This will allow me to provide personalized recommendations and suggestions. Reasoning, so understanding the user's shopping preferences and needs is crucial to provide accurate, relevant recommendations. So it's already targeting towards the first goal. And then here is what he plans to do. And then, of course, we have the criticism as well. is I need to make sure that the questions I ask are relevant and not too intrusive. I also need to ensure that I am not making assumptions about the user's preferences based on limited information. So the question that it wants me to do is, do I want to authorize this, or do I want this to be continuous command? I.e., it will run through each of the goals and go through it without stopping. So that'll be in continuous commands, or authorized command, meaning that there is more input on my side. So let's go ahead and try running this in continuous commands. So let's say to run 5 continuous commands. So now, as you can see, it will continue on running. And so on and so forth. And then if you just quickly have a look around, you can see that you started looking at, what are my favorite brands, what are my favorite budget, what is my budget. Started taking a look at some preferences, different favorite brand deals, brands like Nike and Adidas. So now that it's figured that out, it will go ahead and start looking at some more items for Nike and Adidas. And then, as you can see, it has already Googled all of these articles. So 15 best sneaker brands in 2023, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. And it keeps going forward. So now it's managed to find some products under $1,000. You will now do a lot of comparison, planning, and so on and so forth. More researching. So I think this is the third iteration already. So these are all happening in real time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cancel this now. Yes. So that we can actually go ahead and try this in manual mode, meaning that there's more we can do. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to create my own AI assistant, and let's go ahead and put it into manual mode. Let's see, we'll still get let's try a researcher bot. Researcher bot is an AI, let's see, designed to research about trending AI tools. There you go. So goal 1 is browse the internet. Goal 2 is to create a list of 5 trending AI tools. And then goal 3, let's just shut down. Here we go. So we'll not add any more goals. So essentially, I just want the AI to browse the internet, create a list of the 5 trending AI tools, shut down, and then that's it. So there is a budget for each API call. So as you can see, AutoGPT is quite limited for free users. So with AutoGPT, it uses up to 3 API calls per minute. And since AutoGPT is quite quick, it does crash everything. But let's go ahead and try this anyway. So let's not put anything here. So here are everything that we have. I will start by browsing the internet to find trading AI tools. Okay. So the plan: browse the internet, analyze information, and then create a list. Sure. Go ahead. So let's click yes. Continue. So now it is going to do all of that. So it has managed to Google all of this information. And then I will analyze the information gathered from the Google search to create a list of 5 trending AI tools. Reasoning to help me identify the most popular and relevant AI tools. And then next step is to create. So it's gone through here and to identify the most popular ones. And then it should create a list. Let's try this. So I'll press yes once again. So I will read the file to ensure that the list of trending AI tools was written correctly. So what it did is it actually wrote and returned it into a file. And yeah, let's go ahead. Let's see what those lists are. I'll type in yes once again. So these are TensorFlow, Cortana, Google Assistant, Grammarly, and DALL-E 2. And then I think, yeah, and then here we go. So since it has already finished its job, it will try to be more smart about this and essentially keep updating itself. But if I am okay with this, then I can just go ahead and click no. But as you can see, it has managed to finish its task. So it's gone through and searched multiple websites and then created a list and returned it back to me. And there you go. Now you can go ahead and do everything that you want. Have fun with using AutoGPT. Remember that it is still quite limited, especially for continuous commands. So I recommend going through each one step by step if you want to use the free version. But there you go. So now I have shown to you how to install AutoGPT, including all of the other dependencies, and we managed to create a sample as well. So if you found this tutorial useful, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.